Hello and welcome to our Showcase Sunday with Alison McGee-Barker from AJ Lates Consultancy and Training. And we're here today with the amazing Joan Lind from Trybooking, who is going to help and support the hospitality industry as we do every single week, and share some top tips to be able to give you that much needed backup right now, as we all need. Okay, so Joan, would you like to introduce yourself, of who you are, what you do and why you do it?
Oh, that's very kind, Alison. Well, thank you so much for inviting us to be part of your lovely Sunday showcases. So yes, I'm Joan and I'm the Managing Director of trybooking.com, which some of you may have heard of and some of you may have not. But we're a national UK online booking, ticketing, registration platform for events. But we happen to have our head office in Cumbria, here in Kendal. And we work with all sorts of organisations, from the Cumbria Chamber of Commerce to Lakeland Inns, to outdoor cinemas, etc., and charities and schools. And we help them ease admin and make life a lot easier when they're selling tickets or taking registrations for events.
Fantastic. And what makes you unique and different? What sets you different and above your competition, Joan?
So I'll tell you the feedback that we get from our clients, which we know to be the case, but this comes directly from our clients. It is absolutely our customer service. So we are a cloud-based platform. We're a self-help. People can just jump on the platform and use it and never contact us. And that is true for most of our clients. But for those that want to, we're always there, not just to help them, but to give them advice. And it doesn't matter if you're just using the platform for free events. We're totally accessible. So that's one big one. The other one is we believe in keeping things really simple. Life's just so complicated. And when you start talking about cloud-based and platforms, it all sounds a bit scary. But they're actually, everything about us is easy. It's easy to use. And we have really low fees, so they're easy for you to calculate. And you can actually use Trybooking at no cost, because we can help you set your pricing strategies for your tickets that you can use Trybooking for free.
That's brilliant, and it's very relevant right now, because I am working in different areas in the hospitality and tourism industry with clients, and staffing is an absolute crisis at the moment. Probably it's the worst it's ever been, which is saying something. And I know, events has been hit and miss with weddings, etc. And the communication levels of how to communicate on automated, etc. And I've used your system so many times in the past and presently, and I love it, because you held my hand through every step of the way, I've got to say, and actually helped me set up different brands for different organizations and charities, and also with networking, but events as well. And I think it's so important that we actually look how efficient and effective it is, your system is, against anything else, because you can organize functions like weddings with table seatings already done, so your brides don't have to worry about it. And I just think that is a massive help for any wedding coordinator, but any hotel manager, general manager, or food and beverage manager who may be struggling at the moment. And what are the areas that you could help the hospitality industry in at the moment?
You're absolutely right, because I think historically hotels have got a lot of admin behind any size of event, be it weddings, be it conferences, be it murder mystery nights. So what they can, and a lot of it's been, lots of invoicing, lots of emails back and forth, not making it easy for their clients to give them lists of all the guests that's going to be in the room, their dietary requirements, their accessibility, disabled requirements. So what Trybooking does is takes all of that admin and workload off staff. So we have lovely features that hotels and also hotels clients can use to make life easier for the hotels, where they just set up their event. They can set up their lovely table plans in their restaurant or in their venue, and people can just choose the table they're going to be at. They can give all the information that's critical for not just the person making the booking, but all of the guests, really easily from their phone, from a booking link that the hotel puts on their website or puts in their social media or puts out in a marketing campaign and emails, and say we're having these events, click here. And all of a sudden, they're getting paid immediately. They have all the data about all the guests immediately, and they just have to click and get spreadsheets, and then they share it with catering or share it with the function room. So it just takes away all that back and forth of admin. So let me give you an example. You mentioned weddings. There's a couple of different levels on weddings. It's the wedding fair, but there's the weddings themselves. So wedding fairs, a hotel will put on a wedding fair and put out the marketing and just invite people along. Well, no more, because they've got to manage numbers. You know, brides will not want to go into a busy room, maybe with a mother who's got underlying health issues. So now you could use a function like Trybooking to manage that and give brides time slots. So you could say we're only going to have 10 brides and their families through every half an hour, give them a more intimate, richer experience. They can choose their time slot. You could also say, look, we'd love to serve you lunch, but what we'd like to do is give you a bespoke lunch, and they choose what they'd like and they get their own bespoke lunch. So you're not doing buffets. So you're taking all of those things that people are going to be nervous about coming out of COVID, going into internal events at hotels. And you can make it much easier for them and give them the confidence to come and make it much easier for you to manage. And the other thing is weddings. You know, at the moment, we all turn up at a lovely wedding at a gorgeous hotel. And as a guest, it's the one surprise on the day, along with the wedding dress. What are we going to get to eat? It's the one thing, isn't it? Once you've seen the lady's wedding dress, you're just looking forward to the party, but you're also looking forward to what the meal's going to be. And you don't know until you enter the dining room. Well, with Trybooking, you could offer your brides and grooms at no cost at all, because we only get paid if our clients are getting paid. For a wedding, you're obviously not going to ask your guests to pay, but you could invite them to give them a menu choice. You know, just like you do in a normal restaurant. And all that data can be collected, and the bride can feel they're given a much richer offering to make them get really excited about some of their favourite meals. And the hotel's got all of that information. So there's lots of ways that you can just add an extra layer of service. And I think hotels, we know, I mean, I'm part of the Hospitality Partnership, I'm part of our hotel forum, as Alison knows. And the conversation I'm hearing is hotels are often slow to change. Do it, that's always been done. And there's some real shift changes that have to happen in terms of service. It's not just about the F&B offering in the rooms. People want a whole experience from hotels. And but doing things this way are giving new, exciting ways of engaging with your clients. And that's where we can really help you have that brand experience and enrich it in different ways.
And I think, you know, allergens is massive. We need to obviously make sure that allergens are sorted for functions and events, but also every single guest, because you don't want to get that wrong. The other element as well that I love about your booking system is the fact that you can brand it. You can brand it according to whatever your business is, and whether it's a hotel, restaurant, anything really, and it's GDPR compliant. It's incredible, and you can use the marketing tools when they tick the box that they'd like to be marketed to. So it ticks all the boxes for you as a business, you know, using your system, but it also ticks the boxes for all your guests, and you rightly so. I mean, we've been saying over the last few weeks on Showcase Sunday, our customer experience now has gone up so high that if we don't match, or at least, you know, achieve the guest expectations or exceed it, we have seriously bad reviews. And if something can take the element of time away, because time is the most precious element anyway for anybody, but especially when you're time precious, when you're very short-staffed, and actually it does it all for you. You can just print it off, or you can just email the CSV file or the PDF to your chef or to the food and beverage manager, or even to the bride, saying, can you chase these, you know, people up maybe. It's literally done for you.
It's all done for you. I think there's two things you touched upon. Time is absolutely critical in hotels and with the staffing issues. So all the admin functions, something like Trybooking can really ease. Also, it improves their cash flow. Because if they take, let's say they have a murder mystery night. So what happens now is they want people to phone up, put their names down, and then maybe get them to pay over the phone, which isn't very secure, or maybe send them an invoice. All of that is delaying your own cash flow. If you use a booking platform like Trybooking, to your point about branding, it's integrated into your hotel websites as a whole hotel experience. And our booking pages allow you to showcase visually the beautiful parts of your hotels. People feel like they're almost at the event, not just booking the event. And You then capture all of that data, and data is king. So it's time, you just put the booking link up and there's nothing else for your staff to do apart from to run off a report to say we've got 50 people coming to the murder mystery and they're going to be sitting on these tables and here's all the allergies and here's all the dietaries and you're completely covered because they've all entered it in. There's not lots of email management back and forth, but you've got all that data, and data is also king. So saving time is going to be critical for hotels, having data. And I don't think hotels have used data for marketing as well as they might. They use it for running the hotel, but not for marketing. So you can ask marketing questions about what is it about that bring you back to this hotel? What is it that we don't have that you would like? And insight and data is king to help you step a march. And all of that you're able to do with very great ease.
And I think the other thing you touched on there, which really triggered for me, because I have a lot of businesses, especially restaurant businesses, who are saying people are booking, but they are not turning up. I mean, there was a restaurant not long ago, they had most of the reservations not turn up on one night. One busy Saturday night, they had a waiting list. And they said, how do we handle this, Alison? And I said, well,
taking prepayments.
Yes. I said, get your deposits in, or but if they book online and actually pay and give you any allergens in advance, my goodness, what a game changer.
Exactly. And they don't have to pay for the whole thing. Yeah. As you say, they pay a deposit. So they say, we'd like to come, there's going to be a group of 6 of us, and we'll pay a deposit, and then they'll turn up.
And you could put time slots on, can't you?
Yes, so we're being used a lot by the museum and gallery sector. Because they're a sector that a lot of them still don't charge. So let's take Grayson's Art Club. You've probably all heard of Grayson's Art Club. So Manchester Art Gallery right now are using Trybooking to manage that exhibit at the gallery. It's running from June till August. And they've got 30-minute slots throughout every day, but they're controlling how many guests come through the art gallery. No cost at all to Manchester Art Gallery to use it, but we have saved them hours of admin and headaches by insisting everybody books, and that's all directly from their website. So yeah, we do time slots. Table planning is a really lovely one, because I don't think many people do use a table flat planning feature. And again, it allows people to, particularly for hotels, guests, so hotels clients. So let's say I'm a head of a charity and I want to do a fundraising ball at our local hotel. And what happens currently is I'll book the whole thing, and then I've got to do lots of admin and spreadsheets about who's coming. With Trybooking, I, as the charity, could set up the link and send it to all of my guests, and they book themselves on. It takes pressure off me as a charity. It takes pressure off my guests and the table hosts, because they can just share it with their guests and say, just book your seats, tell us what you want to eat, tell us your dietary, so you're not double guessing. And then I, as the charity, just download a report and send it to the hotel, so they'll have all the information they need much earlier, rather than chasing me constantly, because I'm having to chase my guests for the answers the hotel need.
That's brilliant. And what I love about Trybooking, above any others at the moment, is the fact that you handhold them through. So if they're looking at it saying, oh my goodness, it's all right, you're saying it'll take all the admin, but I'm not digitally or organized, and I don't know how to do this, you actually help support by setting up and putting it all together, so it's so easy for your clients to actually use the system, don't you?
That's right. That's absolutely right. That's what we do day in, day out.
Brilliant. Yeah. Now, on my showcase Sundays, I always ask for top tips. And I love to hear what your top 5 tips for the hospitality industry would you give? Okay,
can I give you my first one? I think hotels in particular need to think differently about their local community. So hotels rely on business people coming in or tourists, but around you is a whole raft of people that haven't been out, and they're probably choosing pubs or their favorite restaurant as a place to eat. So I think there's a huge opportunity for hotels to reposition them and open themselves up and make themselves the heart of the community again. So that's my first tip. And when I say that, I mean things like, for example, most hotels, not all hotels, I understand, but a lot of hotels have got outdoor space, even if it's a car park. Some of you have little gardens, some of you have got vast amounts of space. not many hotels think about how to use that outdoor space. How many hotels have farmers markets on their premises?
Yeah.
How many hotels do open air cinemas? So I would say to you, think about your whole real estate, not just the internal rooms and the F&B offering. Think really creatively, because I think there's some brilliant small hotels. It's always the small independent hotels are the most creative. There's a lot of large hotels that are in the centres of towns and the centres of cities, and they just need to rethink how they're going to attract their local customer and get them back in. And I think it is about using the real estate differently, but also I think it's about putting on different types of things for them. You know, so not just expecting them to turn up at the bar or the restaurant or the occasional murder mystery night, and think differently about how you're going to get all your local punters to reconnect with your hotel. And that's because that's where the customer's coming from, because nobody's going overseas.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's going overseas. Nobody's going to be, people are traveling, but they're looking to have proper staycations. There's a huge opportunity for hotels. And I'm thinking, I've got a hotel, a big hotel quite close to me. I think, wouldn't it be wonderful if I got a little direct marketing in the post saying, we'd love you to come up and visit. Look at all the stuff that we're doing. Oh, and your kid who normally couldn't swim in the swimming pool after 5 o'clock at night, you can come up in the evenings now and enjoy a swim with them in the health club. Just think differently about all the real estate you've got and all the current rules you've got, and look at how you can break them to get people to come back in and enjoy your venue, because you're going to rely on your locals more than ever before.
I love that, and I think it's so important, because everybody's looking for an experience now.
Exactly.
And because everybody's been locked up for so long, in all essence, and experience is key for any business. But if you can add value on a global scale, you know, it would be unreal for, and they would always recommend and refer, because what people do is tend to look after the ones who've looked after them.
Exactly.
And I think if you know, if businesses and hotels or hospitality venues can actually just do that. I mean, I love, you know, the ideas of the,
I think a really tangible example.
yeah.
Restaurants are very good at showcasing their chefs.
Mm.
I would say hotels, on the whole, there's certainly clear some hotels who don't. So I wouldn't know who the chef is at my local hotel, for example. But why not put on an event that showcases the things you're brilliant at? Let's put on a cooking class, and it's your chef and his team that lead it.
Yeah.
And I go, I've never cooked Jamaican food, I've never cooked a proper Thai curry. And you put on class, I go, oh, this is brilliant. I get to learn some cooking skills. I get to meet the team at this local hotel and sample all their gorgeous food. So it's things like that, bringing teams that are often behind the scenes and making the most of them to re-engage your community. So that's one example, running cooking classes for the local community with your chef and his team at the helm. You know, another is you might have a hotel with gorgeous gardens that are really enjoyed by the guests. But hey, those guests are maybe just not there. Why not do spring wreath making or summer floral arranging and have a floral arranging class?
And have afternoon tea delivered.
And have afternoon tea delivered, exactly. And so it's about adding that experience, giving people things that they can't do at home. But showcasing all the wonderful, when I say real estate, I mean from the flower beds of your hotel through to whatever. So that's my main tips, is thinking really creatively about how you can use all that talent and real estate within your hotel to re-engage with your customers, and particularly the local community who are not, we're just not traveling. People might say they are, but people are staying at home and they are looking for things to do.
Love that. I'm more likely to recommend and refer when people do come and visit them again.
Exactly.
Fantastic. And your next tip?
Oh my gosh. Well, my next tip is honestly just to look, don't be scared of things new. And I say this not as, I do see it within the hotel sector, but I say it more broadly. I think us Brits, and Alison's heard me say this before, I've been in a very privileged position. I've lived overseas for many years. And my biggest shock returning to the UK in my mid-40s, having been away for 15 years, was not the weather or anything like that. And everybody said, oh, you must miss the weather of Australia. I said, well, I don't really, because I quite like the seasons. It was how reserved the Brits are. We are painfully reserved. I truly believe we're hanging on the coattails of our Victorian ancestors. Look at the progression they made. And we're scared of anything new.
Yeah.
And I think that's particularly true in the hospitality sector, because you know, you've got such big infrastructure. And one of the things I see a lot in the discussions I'm having with the hospitality sector is changing, and this is where it comes right back to Trybooking, to cloud-based platforms. And I see so many amazing cloud-based platforms that can really help the hotel industry. And be it Room Raccoon, I'm just naming a couple, I mean, that's not going to be very fair, but I just think of Room Raccoon for one example that's come top of mind. And the hotels are really nervous about legacy systems and weaning themselves off them and doing something new. You've had all this opportunity to look at everything you're doing, and please be brave, because it will save you money and it will save you time. You've just got to go forth and look at it and embrace it and trust it. And you know what? If it doesn't work, you tried it. But my bottom dollar bet is most of it will work. And that's what I really felt in Australia. The attitude is, oh, never heard of this, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Whereas there's not a give it a go attitude in the UK so much. And I'd urge you to give things a go and try things. And I think you'll be surprised and delighted, not disappointed most of the time.
It's so important. And the thing that I constantly say to all my clients and anybody who is out there is always take time out to strategize in your business. If you do not take time out to have your vision and focused reviewed and evaluated so that you know where you're going and what could help you, and don't look at the things that you know, if you're strong at something, you're going to continue to do it, but look at the areas that you're weak in and see who else can actually help you with that and save you the time and money in all essence. Because you know, when I look around different businesses that are bumbling along and they're really busy and money's all right, but they're not efficient, and they're not efficient because they're basically not taking the time out to actually look at all the processes and procedures that they have in place and see how they can help their employees who are currently under so much pressure with short-staffed and an abundance in occupancy, to look at the processes to see if they can make themselves more efficient and effective so it can future-proof the business in the long term. Because guests are now so educated, lockdowns taught so many people, you know, how to use certain elements. And if they don't find that, I mean, I remember first time certain people were on Zoom, you know, and it was a massive thing, you know, what's this Zoom? Now everybody's very experienced in Zoom of how to make rooms and so on in it. And that's the same with your systems, to be fair, and the cloud-based systems is get involved, learn it, and with your system initially is you get your hand held all the way through it, so there's no excuse.
Yeah, but I really do. I'm quite passionate about this. I mean, I know a few hotels in Cumbria that I've contacted since lockdown started to come out to use their spas.
Yeah.
And guess what happens? I phone. They say, oh, you need to speak to the spa for that. And guess what happens? I never get through to anybody. And then I go on their website and there's no information. And he just says, you see, I'd really like to have a day at a spa because either, and then you eventually get somebody saying, well, actually, we're not open to non-guests. We go, well, make it clear on your website. Yeah. Don't make me have to call and call and call. Because I want actually to come and enjoy your wonderful. So I just think you need to use technology to communicate, because it's not just that you're absolutely right, it's about making them future-proofed and be more efficient. Yeah. It's also about the customer experience. Yeah. And I think people get very inward focused and they forget to step outside of it and look at and the bigger hotels are more guilty of this than the smaller hotels. So I'd really encourage you to do a secret shopper, to put yourself outside of it and call in and say, well, I'm going to pretend I'm booking for a spa and let's see what happens. And I think you'll be in for a surprise.
It's scary.
People think work, and it doesn't work. But you could use your digital platforms so much more efficiently and also give us such a good brand experience.
You're so right, and the amount of conversations I've had with corporate businesses who contact me to get hold of certain businesses because they can't, and they just want to book an event, or they want to book, you know, something that's really important, like a strategy meeting or a board meeting. And they say, is all the staff in sales on furlough still? I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
And I think, my goodness, why can't you, number one, answer the phone, but if you've got it
Yeah.
on your website to be able to contact somebody and get an answer immediately,
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer. Or have that communication
Yeah.
element, or the chat box, as we mentioned with Matthew Lincoln just a few weeks ago, with you know, how to make it so easy. And we are, you know, in hospitality, our heads are down and we're firefighting and we're
Yes.
carrying on, and I get that, I totally get that. But this is a game changer in saving you time, saving you money, and actually making you more efficient and effective, but attracting the right people who would then like to come and work with you because
Oh,
you're
that's right.
forward thinking.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. Right, your next tip, Joan.
Oh my goodness me. Have I not given enough? Oh my goodness me. My goodness me. Look, my next tip's going to be straight back to, I'm going to be shamelessly straight back to Trybooking. My next tip, honestly, is with Suzanne, Alison just mentioned it, within your conference functioning team. I don't know if you call it the sales team or the people that receive calls if I want to book an event within your function suite, is tell them to use Trybooking for all of their, because they'll be selling tickets. They'll have to be taking, it might be a corporate event and they're not selling tickets, but they still need all that data about the guests, more so now than ever. Use Trybooking, encourage them to use Trybooking. It'll make your life so much easier and it'll make their life so much easier. So that's all I would ask. That'd be my biggest tip that would really help you.
And I love the fact that I know there's other booking sites that we won't mention that does very similar things to you. However, the difference is yours is concentrating on the actual company and the brand that you're dealing with. It doesn't then veer you off to another event that potentially could send you somewhere else. And I think that's critical as well, because we all like healthy competition, but if it's thrown in the eyes of our guests, it's not really the done thing, is it really? And I think it's important to remember that, especially if it's a charity or it's an organizer of an event or a hotel. You wouldn't want to see next door hotel popping up as the competition event that potentially could be on the same night.
Exactly. So no, our whole philosophy here at Trybooking is we're an enabler. It's your events, you're in control, even down to how the booking pages look. So there's a tiny example. The Winter Gardens have used Trybooking for a big Elvis Presley celebration night, and any of you who've been to the Winter Gardens know that amazing ceiling. So in our booking pages, we allow you to put up these beautiful images that just hang throughout the booking pages. So people almost feel like you're at your gorgeous venue before they even arrive. And it's just stunning. So you're giving them a much better experience. As Alison said, you can integrate it fully into your website. So we're here almost like to be your mini event box office. So it's your events, you control it. We're just an enabler. We don't see ourselves as the platform that your guests are coming to. We see them very much like coming to your event on your platform. And we've just made it easy for you to do all of that and make it really elegant.
Fantastic. And I think the added bonus as well is when you're using a system like yourself, it helps people to come out of the comfort zone, but it also gets people to think creativity. When you're looking at the off-peak seasons where money still needs to come in, because cash flow has been a massive issue throughout the whole of the industry, and that's what a lot of businesses have fallen over with, not having the cash flow, not having a positive cash flow to be able to sustain their business. They may have had great assets, but the thing that's kicked them, and dropped them in bankruptcy in numerous cases is the cash flow. And I think if they can be creative and bring up events or different aspects, in winter, if it's off-peak season for some businesses in winter, but also different experiences that they can lay on without having to work full steam ahead with a full admin team.
Yes, exactly.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Joan, if somebody's sat here now and they're looking, did you have any more top tips? Sorry, by the way. No. And if someone's sat here watching this interview now and thinking, great, this showcase is fantastic. However, I'm still sat on the fence. you know, would you know, well, of course you would know, but your present customers, what they would say to actually the people who are thinking, should I use Trybooking? Is it really what they say? What would your present and your past clients say about you that would talk to them?
The number one piece of feedback we get is, oh my goodness, I should have used this years ago. We get that all the time. All the time. People go, I had no idea just how flexible and how easy it was, and all the stuff I could do. I can manage waiting lists, I can manage donations, I can email all my ticket purchases in one easy go. I can, capture all the marketing intentions. There's just so much. So the feedback that we get all the time is, oh my goodness, we should have done this ages ago. It is a complete game changer. And the other part of it is, it's so easy. It's you're not committing to anything. So we are a cloud-based solution. So you can use this for one event, never use this again. There's no commitment. So you're not buying into a big piece of software that you're thinking, oh, is it going to work? You can just try it, you can test it all at no cost. So I think what clients love is just the it does change the whole way. It allows them to not have to focus on all the admin and just focus on actually the content of the events. They spend a lot more time thinking about new event ideas and getting all the talent for the event, and then just the event just happens in the background. The actual management of it, who's coming, how many are coming, have they paid, who needs to have the booking changed, all that stuff becomes really, really simple and takes 5% of the time, where it used to take 70% of the time.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. And I would certainly agree to that, because I've actually used it before myself quite a few times, and especially things are changing, by the minute again at the moment. And I think the fact that every person on your booking list, you can email straight away if there's any issues that pop up. So if the government say, right, that's it, the wedding, we need to reduce it by 30, you can email your guests saying, this is what's happening and we're changing the date within seconds of that announcement.
Yes, exactly.
That's
exactly what's happening. And and through COVID, we came into because we make refunding so easy. So imagine you're at a hotel and you had all these events going and everybody paid by invoice. How are you getting the money back to those people? Through BACS transfers, I suspect. That's a lot of work. With Trybooking, people literally clicked a button, and we had, for example, we had Essex Pride, big festival, thousands of tickets. They had refunded everybody within 15 minutes. Just come on to Trybooking, use our bulk refunds, and we automatically, as soon as they tick a big orange box, we automatically start putting all the ticket purchases money straight back on their credit cards or into their PayPal account. So we saved hours. We had a big event in Edinburgh with lots of international people, attending, and it was a big event. And the lady who was managing the event had been put on furlough. And I got a call from the finance director of this organisation going, right, X is on furlough, we're now having to cancel it, what the hell do I do? I said, don't you worry, jump onto the account and I'll show you. And she said, honestly, this is a finance director, was going, oh my God, you've just saved I was sitting here sweating, going, I'm going to find all the contact details of these people. I'm going to have to email them all. I'm going to generate back transfers. I'm going to get bank details. It's going to be a night. So no, you just click all the buttons. And she'd refunded the whole thing within 20 minutes.
That is amazing.
Well, when it comes to managing refunds, we make it so easy. So easy, and we've just started on that game again, and that's this week sadly has been taken up with more refund conversations than anything else. So we feel like we're back in April 2020, but that's the type of thing you just that and all of that is within our tiny little fees that you can also pass on. So if you've got paid for events, you can have the ticket purchase to pay for them, so you can actually run Trybooking at no cost if you just are smart about your pricing strategies. It's all there. That's the beauty of cloud-based platforms. They do make life easy.
And you can do it from anywhere in the world.
That was the other point I was going to make. The other conversations, back to your question about what do clients say, is the conversations where they go, well, we've got all these softwares and that's on her computer and she's on furlough. Trybooking doesn't matter. It's a cloud-based platform. You can log in from any device, from anywhere. So if your staff was on furlough, you don't have to have that person's computer. You just log into our Trybooking account from your computer and access all the data and do what you need to do. And that is why I'd urge you to look at things like this and not rely on legacy systems.
I love it.
Mm.
Love it. Thank you, Joan. Now, obviously, we're going to put all your details at the end of this Showcase Sunday. What is the best way to contact you?
Oh, best way to contact me is to pick up the phone, because I do believe it's good to talk. And that's 0333 344 3477. Or you're very welcome to email me directly, joan@trybooking.co.uk, or link in with me.
Brilliant.
Joan Lind on LinkedIn.
So it's Joan Lind on LinkedIn. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So I'm going to put all your details at the end as well for anybody who wants to take a screenshot of that. And then they'll be able to connect with you. And thank you very much for joining me on the Showcase Sunday this week.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and Trybooking. It's our privilege.
Thank you.